I've always loved horror, even when I was a child, as I grew up with a few horror-related cartoons that influenced my love for the genre, one of them being the original Scooby-Doo series from 1969. I'm not as much of a Scooby-Doo fan as I used to be, and while there were other shows I did enjoy more, I still have some fondness for the original series, and remember enjoying it nonetheless. Even as a kid, I never really found most Scooby-Doo villains to be all that scary. However, one villain stood out to me, as he terrified me for a very long time, that villain being the Spooky Space Kook. For those unfamiliar, the Spooky Space Kook was a villain who featured in the original Scooby-Doo series, in Season 1, Episode 15, Spooky Space Kook, from 1969. This villain was described as a ghostly humanoid alien wearing a blue spacesuit. The inside of his helmet was dark, with only his skull and a set of yellow eyes being visible. However, he could also let out a horrifying cackle that would cause the inside of his helmet to glow up with what can only be described as a sinister red hue. He also had abilities, like leaving behind glowing foot and fingerprints that would later disappear, and even technology, like his ghostly spaceship, which he would use to travel around to different areas. The episode begins with the Scooby Gang running out of gas just outside of a farmhouse. Asking the farmer for fuel, he warns them of a ghostly UFO that's been spotted in the area, with the Scooby Gang finding glowing footprints on the farmer's property. Once the footprints disappear, the gang begins to look for the ghostly UFO, with it soon flying over them and landing at an abandoned airfield. Finding more glowing footprints, the gang follows them into the airfield. Throughout the episode, the gang, mostly just Scooby and Shaggy, would encounter the ghostly alien. Despite the encounters, the gang as a whole were able to find important clues to solve the mystery. Eventually, the gang, alongside the farmer and the sheriff, chased and trapped the ghostly alien in a wind tunnel. Activating it, the spacesuit was torn off, revealing the villain's identity. The ghostly alien turned out to be the neighbor of the farmer, Henry Bascom, who plotted to scare away the farmer and the Air Force to acquire the land for a cheap price, until the Scooby Gang intervened. As I discussed in the intro, most Scooby-Doo villains never really scared me, even when the monsters turned out to be real, like in Zombie Island. However, the cackling and glowing red helmet was a terrifying combination that scared me for a long time. It also didn't help I watched the episode just before I had to go to bed as a child. Rewatching the episode for this video, I didn't feel the same terror I experienced as a child. It wasn't a case of childhood trauma. The Spooky Space Kook just simply scared me when I was younger. He may not be the best Scooby-Doo villain, but to me, the Spooky Space Kook is a unique and memorable one. I feel I have a newfound appreciation for him, and he may be my favorite villain in the series. While this video is a huge departure from my normal Transformers content, I hope you've enjoyed the video and have watched it up to this point. The Transformers content will continue to be my primary content, outside of the gaming videos. However, I do want to make videos on other topics from time to time. I'm excited to branch off into other topics I feel passionate about. The original idea for this video was going to be on Courage the Cowardly Dog, and that video will be made eventually.